Hey everyone, wanted to show you my score from Blade Show 2025 that I got on Friday, 2 days ago. This is a Carothers Performance Knives EDC 1.2. And this is the sheath that it came in, which is something I really like about the knife, but there aren't many videos on these things, so I thought I would add this to prior work done by Archman. So here it is, the EDC 1.2. I'll start right off and compare this to what the EDC 2.0 was. And one thing I can show you is that this point is a little more pointy. The blade is kind of one arch here, where the 2.0 kind of had a fatter belly right here, which was not something I was interested in, so I'm glad to see that this is has eliminated that belly right there. The blade is also a little bit thinner. This is 0.135 blade stock compared to 0.145 for the 2.0 version. And we also get a little bit thinner tip. If you see here, the 2.0 version, which I have not actually held, but from videos I can see this is a little bit thinner, so it's not a super reinforced tip, but it's nice and slicey. One other thing I noticed on this was the jimping is very unusual. You can see this. These ridges, starting at the bottom, is a very thin line, and the little ridges get deeper and deeper. There's like 4 lines that get progressively deeper. Then you have these 3, so it's like a progressive jimping, which I kind of like. Like I said, one of the nice things about this knife is the sheath. This taco sheath they had there, and you could get a regular pancake sheath, which they had, or the taco sheath, but I was super happy to see this taco sheath. It's awesome. It comes with a really nice, very strong clip that'll definitely hold up anywhere. Has a nice drainage at the end here, but this thing is awesome. I mean, it just clicks right in, super. And one thing I love about it too is this little thumb, I don't know what you want to call it, but if I just pop on this, it comes right off very easily. Sorry, but once that's in there, it's not going anywhere. So this is one of the my favorite sheath that I have. This thing is awesome. I love the small profile. It's really perfect for me. Now, I've never held a Carothers before until a couple of days ago, and I was kind of wondering about this design. You can see it's kind of a curved handle, and I can tell you that this thing is super duper comfortable for me. I'm a small guy, and it fits just amazing. The way this thing fills the curve of the inside of your hand is super. And I think that's a big selling point of this knife. Also, if I do a reverse grip, you can see that that goes right in there and fills this like dimple in your palm. So when I'm holding it like that, it's super duper comfortable. Really love that. That kind of leads me to one little con I have is I would really like it if this was sort of angled the other way to get a nice thumb grip. I know it's not a tactical knife, but I like to be able to stab or pierce if I need to. And the shape of this thing going this way, I think it looks beautiful. It's very organic. But I think if it was coming extended out like that, it would be better. And I actually put a drawing here, if you don't mind me showing you. I made a profile of this thing, and here's the knife. I would just extend it out like that where I drew in red and eliminate this little bump right here. I think if they did something like that on a new version, it would be amazing. I think if you have a little bigger hands, you see for me, this goes right down here, so I wouldn't want that to be any shorter. But if you have bigger hands, you're not going to be able to get your pinky on there. If that was extended out, it would be better for large hands, and it would be much better for this reverse stabby grip. So, but that's a super minor gripe. I think that this knife is just beautiful. I got mine in vintage micarta, and I wanted black. They had a couple of black ones. I ended up going with this one, this vintage one, because it just really popped at the show. I don't know if you can see the color here. It's just beautiful. The black ones they had at the table at Blade were $290 and $300 for black micarta and black linen. But this one, as you can see, I paid $320 for it. And you can see it says vintage micarta, so I went with that one. Now the table prices for EDCs were starting at $290. I think it went up to as high as like $450, $460. The more expensive one had a swedge here and more of a satin finish. I really like this stone wash finish. I want this thing to be a user, and I wanted stone wash. So I really like it. So one other tiny thing that's kind of weird to me is this lanyard hole. I have not tried to put any paracord through here, but that looks like it's going to be a niggling little problem. You know, a lot of these things just have a hole, and it's really easy to put a lanyard on there, but that's going to be a little bit of a pain. But I guess it goes in keeping with the organic look. I mean, if there was a hole here, it wouldn't be as pretty. So you can see here, we got the Carothers logo, and I forget what that guy's name is, and then the Delta 3V right there. Wanted to quickly show you again about this, the handle. And I want to compare this to this knife here, which is the Lion Steel M4, which is a little bigger knife, but the handles are about the same. And really want to talk about the difference in handle. And I thought this was pretty comfortable. It's got a fairly, wide grip, and that's nice and comfortable. Even the reverse grip, nice and comfortable. But when I'm holding it like this, you see this kind of a void here. And when I'm holding it like that, here I got a nice grip, but on the bottom I don't feel it. When I put the EDC in my hand like that, oh, it just feels super nice. So I think I'm going to really use this thing and not use the M4 so much. One other difference is, too, if you look at the way this thing, the handle is tapered, it's fat in the middle and it gets back fat out at the ends, the sort of hourglass shape. And the EDC is the opposite of that. Fat in the middle, but it gets skinnier at the ends, and I think that's part of the whole comfort. I really like that more. So anyway, the only other little the main thing I would say is this is an expensive knife for $320 from the maker. It's expensive, but it is really cool, and I really, really like it. I'm super stoked. If anybody's wondering, at the show he also had a bunch of basic 5 field knives, a bunch of these EDCs, I think some regular signature field knives, a couple of sheaths, a couple of K20 swords. So it was pretty cool. I was hoping to get a 10-inch light chopper, but next year at Blade they should have those. Love this knife. And thanks for watching.